It's picked in a video. I don't know if I'm between different stations. It's like a spirit box. So I'm playing in the background. Might have all sorts of mixture of things. Who knows? It might violate some violation, but it's like a hybridized mixture. Telling me the old lady went like that. It's quite interesting. It's got bloody music on it. Yeah, it's like some weird radio channel. It's called something like AM or something. So we've got some proper station by the sounds of it, a little bit. Some jazz going on. Some talking in the background, it's pretty weird. It's the talking that's the weird bit. Like that sort of thing. It might be French, it might be some other different languages now. So just see what you hear. You might hear something of interest. As I'm talking, it might drive you mad. So I've got a few projects I'll be doing. In my next video, I've got some interesting ones. I've got a new orgone project. So, I mean, problem is that there was a certain, if you use the word with around metals, there was someone who would, I mean, basically almost prosecute you for using the word, because he had registered it as a trademark or something. I don't know what he's done with it. And it was just ridiculous. It's a bit like saying, I own cement, so anybody puts bloody sand or ballast or something, I'm going to rename ballast, and I'm going to own that word, and you can't use it. And if you've got anything that's mixed like it, then you're in violation. You need to pay me for it, sort of thing. It just ruined it, basically. Anyway, so I've got a new area of research which will be using it's just an irritating noise where you change the pace of your voice. It will probably send you into a trance. Listen to this collective noise, white noise mixed with my voice, and bring you a great understanding. I'll just make it a bit quieter. So I'm going to use my orgone pyramids, but I'm going to be doing stuff with a routing tool to maybe engrave it, basically, with spiritual symbols. Might use things, I can use anything I like, really. I could whack a pentagram on it, I could put Star of David on it, I could do all sorts of things, really. I could put a septagram on it, I could do a hexagram, anything I like. I'll make it a bit quiet. People think, what on earth has he listened to? Just combined it with a bit of metal. It's almost reversing it. It's like it's going to reverse. So this is like the spirit world I'm accessing. They got jazz going on. So there we go. Imagine if there was a radio station that was just a spirit box FM or whatever, you know. I think this is like a medium wave or something else I've tapped into, and it's not used that often, so it's got these weird things. And it's interesting. I'm just interested to sort of what might come off of it. Might hear something broadcast you would never hear anywhere else. Yeah, so I'm gonna put things. Well, it's not just engraving. I may actually create slots in it. You can put crystals into it, so it's almost like you can power up the crystals using the orgone pyramid. I might have to call it something like Paragon or something, or use something else to protect the name, because I might get some idiot. And I mean, anyone who wants to use my ideas, it's fine. If you don't want to use my ideas, it's fine. But the thing is, you could basically, if I can engrave onto the pyramid itself, I could run a kind of circuit on it. there's lots of things I can do, and rather than put the crystals into the pyramid, put them more on the outside. I might make a chamber in it, so it literally is using the information from the ancient Egyptians, the pyramid, because the empty space in the pyramid were just as important as the shape of the pyramid itself. And then you've got calculations and maths. That's why you want to put a symbol on it. You probably want to carefully draw it out, possibly, depends what you want to create on there, and that will kind of represent a universal language. You're trying to tap in. It's a bit like as I'm talking, I'm using different sounds and different ranges, and that carries frequencies on these things. So it's pretty much that you're trying to tune into some frequency, like the radio as well, that will be picked up in the more the spiritual realm, or connect in some other way. Because at the moment we're probably in a matrix anyway of some sort. How it works out, it depends if people holding on to Newtonian physics, or if they've embraced some type of neo-quantum physics or something, or it's more about energy then, really. I don't know, it's something that goes beyond it then. So it's not basically the physics is the physical, is just based purely on energy. The problem was they wanted to just sort of like group sciences together. So yeah, it could be mad. I'm just thinking of all the stuff it's starting to kick off actually. My brain's starting to come up with new ideas. Like I could create, so you've got things like rife machines that use frequencies and can stimulate your DNA and all sorts of things. It uses basically pulses and frequency waves that can either be through magnets, or it can be used through electrical forms as well. Then we got things where you can use it to interpretate information. Hang on, I have to think. So you got orgone, and then you've got a device between it. God, sometimes you forget how these things, but so it can be used as a kind of communications device, and you can use it to track down stuff. So it's like a divining system. Let's come over. What else is going on the road? It'll probably come back to me in a bit. It just slipped my mind a little bit. I'm using things for my own health developments. I look like I was taller, but Dad said you look taller, so it could be the boots I'm wearing. But I've been using non-compound exercises to start strengthening my body, and that's basically, I've got a chin-up bar, so I'm setting up the chin-up bar at different levels, and so you can use different like pulling or suspension of weight exercises, stuff like that. I'm not compressing the weight. Yeah, that's definitely a bit of French, isn't it? It's always interesting, isn't it, with different things. Radionics, that's it, radionics devices. That was using like frequencies and finding out things or detecting things about your health. You used to get information. So I was almost asking questions and sensing things. There was some correlation with using the mind. I mean, basically, if you strongly believe in something, then you create a deeper connection with it. If you don't, and it's just how the consciousness works, if you don't believe in it, you can't really utilise a connection. And it's difficult because it means suspending belief and stop being a skeptic for a bit. But then it's a case of exploring it. It's a bit like, I don't know, skeptical about enjoying something. If you believe you're going to enjoy it, the experience might be heightened already. But if you don't believe you're going to enjoy something, then you've already started loading it up with criticism. But yeah, I definitely, to incorporate the devices all into one, it's definitely a win-win situation. So, there we go. When you've got drivers that are a little bit crazy, then you kind of well, crazier than I am. I mean, I can drive perfectly fine when somebody's got loud music on and they want to race past you or do some sort of unusual manoeuvres. It's pretty crazy at the time. So yeah, so radionics, incorporate rife. I might have to buy some more taxidermy type weird things that have been put into resin. I quite like them. Maybe a little scorpion. I mean, I don't want cruelty to animals, but I mean, at some point it probably has done. It'd be nice if they just died of natural causes and was chucked into something that preserved them. It's probably not likely to have happened. I mean, it could have trapped them and they might have died. It might be somebody's ex-pet or something. Well, tarantula would be a pretty cool thing to have. I'd be keen to have a real one, but if you have, I mean, they might creep you out, a tarantula. If you've got something in resin, spiders don't like spiders. So a spider sees a big spider like that and goes, hey, I'm not hanging around. That's trouble. And I've got some plastic ones, and I put a plastic one on the side, and another spider saw it, and it started to do a little dance. It's like the mating dance. Hello, look at me, I've got big legs. And that's pretty much what it was trying to do, so you know, it's pretty good. Have a listen to my wacky radio. I think the engravement stuff would be pretty cool. I could use some other things like they were using jewellery. They've got stuff called bismuth and mixture, and it's used in soldering. They got like what they use for solder. So it's got probably got a little bit of silver or something in it, and some other stuff. But they've had to remove lead basically, so they've substituted lead for something else. And bismuth, I think, on its own, there's a mineral. It's like a crystal. It's like a strange chromatic crystal. So I could etch in there and then put in these lines. So really, I mean, it's like I'm tattooing the resin in some way. Probably it's not under the skid, but it's pretty much formed a shape on it. So I guess I'm quite excited about this project. And also I've got these other crystals, and they've got these large crystals, and I was thinking about maybe doing stuff like a cross. So not on the when we say crucifix, it's crucified, but it's definitely Christ or Christus as in cross. But I could do a lot of artwork with that. I could have an unk, and I could have a way to slide a crystal into that. You know, there's some little sort of projects, and there's lots of stuff I can do with this routing tool. I was thinking about making a pair of knuckle dusters actually out of wood. That'd be quite an interesting thing to look at. I think wooden rings, which is probably no different if you made a lot of wooden rings and wore them in your hand. You could modify them in some way, make a smart ring or something that improves your health in some way. Maybe out of certain woods, because I bet certain woods have certain properties. I mean, cinnamon itself comes from the bark, isn't it? So, definitely. Okay, anyway, it's a big sign off. Have a great one, and speak to you soon. Bye.